everyone, and welcome to Smart Learning, the place where your English skills grow stronger every single day.
That's right. Today we have a very exciting topic that almost every learner wants to understand: advanced versus basic English. What's the real difference?
Many students learn English for years, but they still wonder, am I speaking basic English or advanced English? And what's the difference anyway?
In this series, we will explore this topic step by step in a simple, friendly, and practical way.
We'll break it into 6 parts, each about 10 minutes long, and by the end, you'll clearly understand what basic English is, what advanced English is, how vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation change from one level to the other, and most importantly, how you can move from basic to advanced.
So, get ready. Grab a notebook, take some notes, and let's make your English journey more powerful and clear than ever before.
Are you ready, David?
Absolutely, Lisa. Let's begin with part 1. What is basic English?
Hi, David. Let's start with the basics. What do we really mean when we say basic English?
Basic English is like the foundation of a building. It's the starting point where learners focus on simple words, short sentences, and very basic grammar.
That's a great way to put it. Usually at this level, learners know about 1,000 to 2,000 common words, right?
Exactly. For example, they use sentences like, I like apples, she goes to school, we are happy. Very simple and clear.
And they mostly use basic tenses like the present simple. I wake up at 7 a.m. I eat breakfast. I go to work.
Yes. The main goal of basic English is survival communication, managing daily life, shopping, traveling, greetings, and simple conversations.
And at this level, pronunciation and listening are still developing. Learners often pause, hesitate, or make small mistakes.
Right, but that's completely normal. Everyone starts here.
So, to summarize, basic English equals simple words, simple grammar, basic communication skills.
Yes, and one important thing, basic English is not bad. It's a very important stage. Without it, you cannot move to advanced English.
Exactly. It's like learning to walk before you can run.
Perfect. In the next part, we'll explain what advanced English really is and how it feels different.
Now that we've explored what basic English is, let's move on to the next big question. What is advanced English?
Great point, Lisa. Many people think advanced English just means knowing a lot of words, but it's much more than that.
Absolutely. Advanced English means you can use the language naturally, fluently, and accurately in almost any situation, academic, professional, or casual.
Exactly. At this level, learners often know 10,000 or more words, and they don't just know them, they know how to use them correctly.
Right. For example, a basic learner might say, I am very happy, but an advanced learner might say, I am absolutely delighted, or I am thrilled.
That's a great example. They also use complex grammar structures like conditionals, passive voice, or mixed tenses. For example, if I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam.
And advanced learners don't just speak, they express ideas with nuance, using idioms, phrasal verbs, and natural expressions.
Like saying it's raining cats and dogs instead of just it's raining a lot.
Exactly. Also, their pronunciation and intonation sound more natural. They don't pause often, and they can follow fast conversations easily, even in movies or news.
Another sign of advanced English is flexibility. They can adapt their language for different contexts: formal meetings, casual chats, academic writing, or storytelling.
So, in short, advanced English means rich vocabulary, complex grammar, fluent in natural speech, deep understanding of context and culture.
And here's something important: reaching advanced English doesn't happen overnight. It's a journey that requires consistent practice, exposure, and curiosity.
Very true. But the good news is, once you're there, English stops being a challenge and becomes a tool for success, whether in your job, studies, or travels.
Well said, Lisa. In the next part, we'll compare vocabulary differences between basic and advanced English with real examples.
Now that we know what basic and advanced English are, let's explore one of the biggest differences, vocabulary.
Yes, vocabulary is often the first thing people notice. Basic English uses simple, everyday words, while advanced English uses richer, more precise, and sometimes more formal words.
Exactly. For example, in basic English, you might say, I'm very tired. But in advanced English, you could say, I'm exhausted.
Or instead of, it's very hot today, an advanced speaker might say, it's scorching outside.
Nice one. Let's give a few more examples. Basic, help. Advanced, assist. Basic, start. Advanced, commence. Basic, buy. Advance, purchase.
And don't forget idioms and collocations. Basic learners say, I'm happy. Advanced learners might say, I'm over the moon.
Yes, idioms like that make language sound more natural and expressive.
Another example, basic learners say, it's raining a lot. Advanced learners say, it's pouring or it's raining cats and dogs.
So the key difference is not just knowing more words, but knowing better words for each context.
Exactly. Basic English is functional. You can communicate your idea. Advanced English adds style, precision, and depth to your message.
But here's an important tip. You don't need to use advanced words all the time. Sometimes simple is best, especially if your audience is international.
That's true. Using too many advanced words can make your speech sound unnatural or even confusing. The secret is balance.
So for learners who want to grow, one great exercise is 1. Write a basic sentence. 2. Replace one or two words with a more advanced synonym or expression.
For example, I'm very hungry turns into I'm starving.
Exactly. It's a small step, but over time, it builds your advanced vocabulary.
In the next part, we'll look at another big difference, grammar, how it changes from basic to advanced.
So far, we've talked about what basic and advanced English mean, and we explored vocabulary differences. Now it's time for another key area, grammar.
Yes, grammar is one of the clearest ways to see the difference between a basic and an advanced speaker.
At the basic level, grammar is usually simple and direct. Learners mostly use present simple, past simple, and sometimes future simple.
Exactly. For example, I go to school. Yesterday, I watched TV. Tomorrow, I will meet my friend.
These are all correct, but they don't show advanced usage. Advanced learners, on the other hand, use a wider range of tenses and more complex sentence structures.
Right. They use tenses like present perfect, past perfect, future continuous, and conditional sentences. For example, I have been studying English for 3 years. If I had known about the meeting, I would have joined.
Another difference is sentence length and variety. Basic sentences are usually short and simple. I like music. I play guitar. An advanced speaker might say, I've always been passionate about music, and I often spend my weekends practicing the guitar with my friends.
Great example. Also, advanced English uses more connectors. Although, however, therefore, meanwhile, whereas, in addition.
Yes. For example, I was tired. However, I decided to finish my homework.
And don't forget the passive voice. Basic learners often avoid it. They built this house. Advanced learners use, this house was built in 1990.
Exactly. Passive voice is very common in news, reports, and formal writing.
Another key feature is relative clauses. Basic, I met a man. He is a doctor. Advanced, I met a man who is a doctor.
That's a good one. So advanced grammar is not just about using complicated words. It's about expressing more information with clarity and variety.
Well said, Lisa. But here's a tip. You don't need to master all advanced grammar at once.
Focus on one new structure each week and practice it in sentences.
Great advice. In the next part, we'll explore fluency and pronunciation, another major difference between basic and advanced English speakers. So far, we've covered vocabulary and grammar. Now let's discuss another major difference, fluency and pronunciation.
Yes, fluency is all about how smoothly and naturally you can speak English. Basic learners often pause, hesitate, or search for words.
Right. For example, a basic speaker might say, I want to go to the store.
Exactly. An advanced speaker would simply say, I want to go to the store. Smooth, natural, and confident.
Fluency also means speaking at a natural pace, without too many long pauses. Advanced learners practice linking words together so speech flows more like a native speaker.
Yes, and pronunciation is another key factor. Basic learners often mispronounce words, which can sometimes make it hard for others to understand.
For example, many beginners say library instead of library, or axe instead of ask. Small errors, but they affect clarity.
Advanced learners focus on correct sounds, stress, and intonation. For instance, I would love to help you. Notice the stress on love.
Another difference is intonation and rhythm. Advanced speakers use rising and falling tones to show questions, emphasis, or emotion. Basic learners often sound flat.
Yes, listening practice is crucial. The more you listen to native speakers in movies, podcasts, or conversations, the more your brain learns the natural rhythm.
And don't forget connected speech. Advanced speakers often blend words together. I am going to I'm gonna, or what are you doing to what you doing.
Exactly. It makes your English sound natural, but beginners usually pronounce each word separately. What are you doing?
So, fluency and pronunciation are really about practice, exposure, and confidence. You can know all the grammar and vocabulary, but if you can't speak smoothly, your English feels basic.
Very true. And here's a tip. Record yourself speaking, listen, and compare it to native speakers. It helps a lot.
Great advice, David. In the next and final part, we'll talk about how to move from basic to advanced English and give some final tips to master the language. Now that we've explored vocabulary, grammar, fluency, and pronunciation, it's time to answer the big question. How do you move from basic to advanced English?
That's right, Lisa. The journey from basic to advanced English is all about practice, exposure, and consistency.
Step 1. Expand your vocabulary. Learn a few new words every day and practice using them in sentences.
Step 2. Practice advanced grammar structures. Start with one new tense or structure at a time and use it in your writing and speaking.
Step 3. Listen and imitate. Watch movies, listen to podcasts, or follow English speakers online. Try to imitate their pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm.
Step 4. Speak regularly. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Speak with friends, teachers, or even record yourself to improve confidence.
Step 5. Read and write daily. Reading books, articles, or news exposes you to advanced vocabulary and sentence structures. Writing helps you use them actively.
Step 6. Use idioms, phrasal verbs, and natural expressions. They make your English sound fluent and native-like.
Absolutely. If you follow these steps, you'll gradually become fluent, confident, and able to communicate in any situation.
That's right. And we hope this series helped you understand the real difference between basic and advanced English.
Thank you for joining us today. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, English is a tool. Use it to open doors to opportunities.
See you next time on Smart Learning, where your English journey continues.
Goodbye, everyone, and keep learning.